What if I told you that there was a little technique that you can do and it's very, very easy to do? It's actually a lot of fun at the same time. But doing this small little technique is just going to make it so much easier to help you achieve your goals. Guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com, online fitness coach, and most importantly, just being that motivator, being that person to inspire you guys to just take action and become the best version of yourself. And today, we're going to be talking all about goal setting, but not in a sense of, what I've been talking before on the podcast with, achieving your goals and a step-by-step action plan. We're going to be talking about something else, actually reverse engineering your goals to make it a lot easier, to just make that path a lot more clear as to the next steps that you need to take in order to be successful. Now, before we get started into this step-by-step plan, I highly recommend, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and write out these questions and actually follow through with doing this simple technique. Because it's fun, it gets your mindset focused on your goals, but also, like I said, it makes that path a lot easier. Let's say you have a goal, I want to lose 50 pounds and I want to get off my medications, or I want to become a millionaire, or I want to buy a new house, buy a new car. It's going to be a lot harder if you're just kind of throwing that goal out there into the universe, but not really having a plan. And sometimes with people out there, that's kind of what they do. They just kind of have this wish, right? And it always is a wish. It never actually manifests into becoming a reality. And so, if you get your mindset focused on what is the end result, what is the end goal, but then also do some reverse engineering, what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, it's going to make it a lot more clear for you, as opposed to, here's the next steps to take in order to take action and to successfully achieve our goals. So, before we get started, I do want to say this also. Okay, this is very clear. This is a quote that I don't know if anybody said it. Maybe it's a Coach Joe official quote for the first time. I don't know. But have this somewhere and memorize it, because I want this to be your mantra. I want this to be like your own affirmation to yourself, your own motto, to just inspire you when times get tough and when it comes to creating goals. So before you even think about that goal that you want, think about what I'm about to say. Okay, and it is that people put too much faith into what other people believe in them. Instead, you should be having more faith into what you believe is right for yourself and what you can achieve for yourself. So long story short, think about it, right? Your parents say, go get a nice cushy job, right? Go to college, don't do this, don't do this. And you abide by the rules, right? You're honoring your parents, right? Which is, it's normal, right? It's in the Bible, right? Honor your mother and father, right? It's one of the 10 commandments. But there has to come a point where you have to have trust and faith and belief that you need to take your own intuition into accountability. See, your parents out there, they don't want you to fail, right? Like, what if you started your own business, or what if you went after this, crazy, goal that you're after, and they might know it might be tough because they never took that path. And so what happens is you're kind of scared, you're kind of timid, you're leaning towards what other people are giving you advice instead of what your heart truly wants. So remember, people put way too much faith into what other people have to say and believe what other people have to say. And those are just words, other people's experiences, other people's thoughts. People take ownership of that. Oh, well, this is what that person thinks of me and said I should do. And, I should do this. And, it made sense for them. Listen, you gotta trust your own intuition. You gotta trust your own heart. Plain and simple. And whatever it is that you want in life, go after, right? Take action, plain and simple. And most importantly, have faith in what you believe is a goal for you that you can accomplish, right? In fact, don't even have that word, can accomplish, right? Don't even have that in there. Just what it is that you want to become, what it is that you want to have this goal set up as. And then we can go to the next steps, which is, this is where I want you to grab that pen and paper. Let's have some fun with this. Let's do some reverse engineering. We coach a lot of engineers, so I don't know if they actually had to ever do reverse engineering or if this isn't even the right terminology, right? But let's have some fun with it at least, right? So what I want you to do is just think, let's just say 12 months from now, okay? 1 year from today, and figure out what is that goal that you want to achieve. And obviously, hey, we love helping guys burn body fat, create sustainable habits, right? Like leadership roles, help them become the best version of themselves physically and mentally as well. So let's just use the example fat loss, right? Let's say in the next 12 months, you want to see some visible abs, right? Let's say you're at 35, 40% body fat. In a whole year, you want to get down to 15% body fat. You want to see a six pack, right? Is that possible? 100%, you know? And like putting in a year stamp on that, like that's long game, right? That could happen easily with the right plan for success, 4 to 6 months, but let's give ourselves some grace, right? And let's just say 12 months. So think about what it is that you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Okay, a year from today, what is that goal? Write that down. And remember, what did I say before? Don't think about what is a goal that is, you can easily achieve or, you should do because somebody else. What is the goal that you truly want? Not your head, but your heart. Write that down, okay? Now, the second question, okay, is simply to answer this, and that is, what do you need to do in order to achieve that goal? And let's once again break this down into health and fitness, right? Hey, you want to get six-pack abs in the next year. Okay, what do you need to do? And, that could be obviously, working out. That could be training your core, whether that's at the gym or whether that's at home. That could be making sure you're fueling your body properly with, hey, rich nutrients, right? Eat your protein, eat your vegetables, right? Like, make sure you're eating enough food. Food equals fuel here. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure that you're also, right, devoting time to, some resistance training, working out your whole entire body. Even though you want to get six-pack abs, hey, you can't just go to the gym every day and just do abs, right? Like, do some squats, do some deadlifts, do some, whatever the case may be, bench press, like work out your entire body as a whole, that foundation. What else can you do? Hey, keep the stress nice and low, focus also on, recovery, getting plenty of sleep. These are just a few examples of, what we kind of go over when we coach our members inside of a 12-week transformation program, teaching them these 7 essentials for fat loss, And anybody can find this. We have a free guide over at Heartletics if you want to go check it out. But you need to do certain things, right? You can't just have this goal of getting six-pack abs, but you're not ready or willing to put in the work. And the physical, right, that I just kind of talked about, that's just one piece of the pie. There is so many other factors, right? The second factor into this is not just the physical, but the mental, all right, and the emotional as well. That's why we always like to strive for guys to become the best version of themselves. And that doesn't mean just looking good with their shirts off. That means mentally, right, confidence, emotional strength, different things like that. So when it comes to building upon those, think about it like, who do you need to become? We just talked about the physical habits, but like, who do you need to become? And that's a hard question for most people to answer because it requires them to do some soul searching. But if you think about, right, hey, 12 months from now, I got six-pack abs, right? I'm on the beach, living my best life, right? My family's there, having fun with kids, playing around with football, going swimming, and some random person walks by and says, oh man, you look great, Who do you need to become that person? Do you think that person is, maybe they have more discipline? Most likely. Do you think that person also has a better mindset? Most likely, right? Like, it's these certain things that, they're going to look at it as far as, here's my goal. And just like with any goal, you have to be a whole different person. Think whole different thoughts, right? You can't be, 35% body fat, high blood pressure, lazy, sitting on the couch after work all day, drinking a beer, and then boom, hey, we're over here with six-pack abs on the beach. Like, these are two different people. Same body as a whole, right? Like, your age, right? Your the name, right? These types of things, your gender, but completely different internal beings, meaning their mindset. They're thinking completely different thoughts. They have also different, character traits about themselves that they probably focused on. Discipline, determination, motivation, like different things like that where, hey, this person over here, 15% body fat with abs, they're thinking completely different thoughts as opposed to that person that's coming home from work all day, dead tired, wants to turn on the TV, watch a movie, and just drink a beer. Completely different habits, but also completely different mindset, completely different thoughts. What is the words that you're also saying? And these could be words to yourself as far as just boosting up your own internal confidence, like maybe like affirmations. But also what I like to say is this, is that what are you doing to help out others? And this is one of the key when it comes to goal setting that like gets swept underneath the rug. But I think it helps out so much because if one, you're focused on seeing results and you don't understand that fat loss is, hey, it's not linear, right? Like it doesn't just like, constantly go down, right? It's going to go through trends. You're going to go through some uphill storms, some downhill storms, right? It's going to be some battles left to right. It's a roller coaster ride. But the people that lose are the people that just give up and throw in the white towel. So what you need to understand is this, and this is a huge golden nugget for anybody out there that's looking to achieve their goals. Taking the pressure, right, with your goal on a pedestal and lowering the importance, here's, in my opinion, the easiest way to do so. Help other people reach their goals. Like, think about it, right? If let's say your buddy decides to start working out, eating healthy, and hey, they want to get in shape with you. Awesome. And let's just say like, in the next week or two, they hit a little stumble. Maybe they don't see the results that they're looking for. They had a great week of, eating healthy, doing some cardio, working out, and they don't see the number on the scale go down, right? Now they're all discouraged. Now they're all upset. Well, what is realistically you're going to tell your buddy? Should you just tell him like, yeah, man, you should just stop. You should just give up. Go back to eating the nachos and sitting on the couch drinking beer. Or are you going to be that friend, right, that's going to say, hey, dude, it's not going to happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. This stuff takes time, but at the end of the day, like, even though you didn't see the number on the scale go down, look at these other forms of progression. Man, you just hit all these PRs. Man, you just like, you just were able to have more energy. You're just telling me about it. Dude, your clothes are fitting a lot better. They're actually loose on you now because, you're losing all these inches. So who knows, maybe you're actually putting on muscle and burning fat at the same time. And maybe that's why you're not seeing the number on the scale go down. So think about it, right? You're being that friend to help out that friend. You got to start taking your own advice as well. But the more you can help out others, it's going to give you more reassurance to yourself in order to lower the priority, right? Lower the pedestal and the importance of your own goal, because now it's not out of balance. Now you're not so fixated on just you being almost selfish. Like, I want this goal. I want this goal. I want this goal. Now it's, hey, how can I help somebody else achieve their goals and help them through that journey? And this is a huge golden nugget, a huge thing that's also swept underneath the rug when it comes to goal setting. And I'll just say it like this. If you want to achieve your goals, help other people achieve their own goals, because it helps take that goal that you have off the pedestal, right? You get more into sync. You get more into balance, okay? Universal laws talk about this all the time, but we're not going to talk about that. That's a whole nother podcast for another day. So think about it, right? Question 2 is, once again, what do you need to do to achieve these goals? Who do you need to become? What are your habits, what physical habits, mindset habits, right? Like, think about that. Just like relatively think about that, right? You need to be a whole different person in that process. And when you can map out that person, it's going to give you clarity as to where you're trying to get to in terms of your goals. Now, the last question is just ask you this, right? And this is an easy one, right? What do you need to do today in order to get one step closer to your goals? That's it. And like, realistically, all you got to do is just look at question number 2, everything that you wrote down, and just start taking action. And that's the reason why number 3 is very simple for anybody to just, write down. But the hardest part is actually taking action. Anybody can listen to Coach Joe on the Heartletics podcast, tell them to do these different things, but actually you physically writing this all out and going through this little activity, going through this exercise of reverse engineering your goals, that's a whole different thing. I mean, look this up, right? I don't have the case study to prove this anywhere, right? But just Google search it, right? People that write down their goals every single day are like 80% more likely to actually achieve their goals. I think this is like a Harvard study or something like this, actually. Go look it up for yourself, right? Everybody has access to Google. And you can see that just by simply writing out your goals. That's why every single day, I write out the things that I'm grateful for, but I'm also writing out my goals. I'm affirming to myself, like, the success that I'm going to have into my life. You know, I'm brainwashing myself for success. And so when it comes to reverse engineering your goals, you got to have the outline, right? You got to almost like look into the future. And this is why I love helping guys focus on their mindset, because you're getting them, yes, out of the present moment, but into the future that they truly want. What are those goals? How does your life look? Who do you need to become in order to achieve those goals? You're mapping all that out, and then you can start reverse engineering to where you can also hold yourself accountable and say, well, hey, I didn't reach my goals because I had, these weeks where I fell off the wagon, or, hey, I didn't do this like I said I was going to do, or, hey, I kept on thinking, these negative thoughts about myself. Like I wake up in the morning first thing, and instead of thinking about the things that they're grateful for and how they're progressing, maybe they're thinking about all their flaws. Oh, I'm not at my goal yet. Oh, I'm not at my goal yet. Oh, I'm not at my goal yet. Well, hey, if you truly believe, and this is what I believe, that your thoughts and your words are painting the picture of your future life, if you wake up in the first thing in the morning, right when you're inclined with your subconscious mind, right? Let that sink in. Your subconscious mind holds 95% of your daily thoughts on repeat. Your conscious mind is just 5% of it. So if you wake up first thing in the morning and you're constantly pinpointing your flaws, guess what? That's all in your subconscious mind. And it's going to be on repeat over and over and over and over again, because you're brainwashing yourself for only pinpointing your flaws, instead of what your goals are, how you've been progressing, the things that you have and grateful for. That's why I'm huge into mindset, because when you focus on your mindset and making that shift, your outternal experience, your outternal body shifts like that instantly. But you can't just fake it till you make it. You got to have faith and believe that, hey, it's all going to work out in the end. Trusting the process, so to speak. And so I'll give you guys, as we close things up here at the end, how I like to do this when it comes to reverse engineering my goals. So I like to take my goals and not just do it for a 12-month span, although I highly recommend you do those exercises in a 12-month span, right? Map it all out. I like to do this as, hey, I just died. Sounds pretty negative, right? But hear me out. So I like to look at it as like, I'm almost just like viewing myself, and I'm at the funeral just hovering around Coach Ghost Joe there, right? Ghost Coach Joe. Hovering around my casket, right? Like, I don't know, like doing whatever ghosts do. And I'm looking down at myself. And the first thing I'm probably noticing is like, well, who's all here? Who's all here? Is it just my family and some close friends? Or, is it all these people's lives that I said I was going to change and truly help out and make that positive impact in the world? Who's here? Right? Like, I want, when I die, like, I want my body to be cremated. I want to be turned into a kettlebell so my son can have that, work out with me every single day, help those boys get their gains, And I also want everybody to do a little cheers, right? Like protein shake cheers, when I pass away, right? I want it to be almost like a celebration, because it's just like, hey, this dude did what he said he was going to do, and hey, he made that positive impact in the world, right? That's truly what I want. I don't want it to be a mourning or a sad period at all. I want it to be more of a celebration, because hey, I did my thing, right? I check, plain and simple. But I'm mentally thinking about who's all there. But also, what are people saying, right? Like, I think it's called a eulogy or something like that, when somebody's like reading off your life. What are they saying about me, right? Like, who's going up to the mic? Who's saying some words about Coach Joe? What are they saying about me, right? So it's just like, that's how I kind of live my life, And I know it's kind of like negative, so to speak, but it's really not, because it gives me the motivation to wake up every single day and make that effort to make one step towards my goal, to make sure that I am going to leave that legacy. I am going to make that positive impact in the world. And so that way, hey, if someone is ever at my funeral, like, it's just like they're saying the good things, because I was a goal getter and a goal achiever, a goal setter, and I said what I was going to do. Plain and simple. I didn't just, talk the talk. I walked the walk. I took the action, And you just think about it like that. Like, and going back to your goals in the next, 12 months, well, hey, you got 52 Mondays, 52 Tuesdays, right? Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Most guys, right, they can say, okay, I can do it like this, right? These habits on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then Friday hits. And maybe the bad wolf starts creeping in, right? Maybe the nutrition goes downhill. Maybe Saturday hits and it's just like, oh man, I feel, tired. I don't feel like waking up. right? Sundays, I want to just be lazy with the family, just kind of kick it. You got to think about it, right? In terms of that, like, you can't just show up for your future self when you feel like it, Monday through Thursday when everything's great. You got to make that decision to show up each and every day. And I don't mean, be super strict with training or super strict with your nutrition or anything like that. I mean, show up for yourself. Like, if you can be that 1% better each and every day, do it. But don't have 52 Saturdays and every single Saturday it's the same old song and dance. You don't feel like going for a walk. You don't feel like drinking a gallon of water. You don't feel like doing this or doing this and doing this. Because guess what? Those bad points are going to add up as well. So, guys, I highly recommend, once again, taking out a piece of paper, taking out a pen, writing down these 3 simple questions, which is number 1, where do you want to be at in the next 12 months? What are your goals in the next 12 months? Number 2 is, what do you need to do in order to achieve these goals? Who do you need to become? What are your habits, etc., right? And lastly, number 3 is that, what are you going to do today to make sure that you're one step closer to those goals? Once again, right? Just think about it like that. And really, really remember what I said in the beginning, right? A Coach Joe quote here is that people put too much faith into what other people believe in them, and instead of having faith in what they believe in for themselves. So go with what your heart says, not your head, right? Go after what you want. Have fun with this little goal, setting activity. And let me know down in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube, what are your goals? I would love to know your goals. I'm all about goal setting and throwing those goals out there. And it's great when you tell other people your goals because, hey, those are people that's also going to hold you accountable to achieving your goals. If you're listening to this on Spotify or on iTunes, hey, go to the community group on the Heartletics app, right? If you're a member, and just, simply tag everybody and let everybody know who do you want to become in the next 12 months? Let's have some fun with this, Heartletics, right? Who do you want to become in the next 12 months? Who is that individual? How does he look? How does he feel? Get as clear as day as how that's going to look. Now you got the whole team and all the coaches holding you accountable. So hopefully you guys got some value from today's episode. If you did, go share this on social media or with a friend or a loved one. And as always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics Podcast. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.